Alright, it's my turn. Alright, here we go. I'm on Pressure Luck, and I'm gonna win big bucks. Alright, here we go. Come on, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks. No whammies, big bucks, and... stop! Okay, FYI, I knew that music was from Price is Right, not the Pressure Luck, but I just thought it would be funnier. But yes, Pressure Luck, the beloved 1980s game show hosted by the awesome Peter Tamarkin and announced by Rod Roddy, who also later did Price is Right. Rest in peace, gentlemen. Miss you guys. It was on our TVs from 1983 to 1986 on CBS, and even came back for a brief bit from 2002 to 2003 on GSN with the equally awesome Todd Newton. The remake wasn't as well received at the time, but is undervalued upon revisiting the show. I personally feel the remake done in the style of the classic PYL, aka Press Your Luck, done in the style of the one-off special game show marathon, I think it would work pretty well, especially if you put Todd as the host. Or I'll do it for free. Fremantle Media, if you are watching this video, I'll host your show for free. I would like the gig. Anyway, off topic a bit. Sorry about that. Oh, and FYI, for those of you who didn't know, Press Your Luck itself was a revamp of an earlier show called Second Chance from the 70s. And yet Press Your Luck became a second chance for that show, for it to go and become a big hit and a part of 80s pop culture. So, pretty cool. But anyway, Press Your Luck, we all know the game. You answer questions to earn spins on the big board and hoping for big bucks, while avoiding the yellow spots with the little red creatures inside called the Whammies. If you land on one, your money and prizes get taken away, and an animation of the creature doing something silly is imposed on the screen as the dollar amount is wiped clean. Hey, that rhymed. Weird. But anyway, the Whammies were created and animated by Savage Steve Holland and Bill Cobb. Holland would later go on to create Eek the Cat and produces and directs various shows on Disney and Nickelodeon and various other projects. And Cobb ended up writing and animating on various things, diverse from Roger Rabbit, Tasmania, Tom and Jerry, and he's even supposedly supposed to do a reboot of Woody Woodpecker. So, hey, bravo to both of them there, and thank you both for creating these little critters. And also, they were also voiced by one of the show's creators, the late Bill Carruthers. Yeah, I didn't know that, come to think of it. And let me see. Oh, one of the other show's creators also being Jan McCormick, of course. Well, certainly, because this was a Carruthers Company presentation, of course. Alright, and there are some other notable things about the show, like the Michael Larson incident, Jenny Jones being a contestant, Gemini from American Gladiators also being a contestant, Randy West, and some future sports figures also being on the show there. But enough about them. Let's talk about Whammies! I watched a few vids on YouTube about the show and realized they had some good whammies and a few bad ones. So I decided to list it up again and give a top 10 list of some of my favorite whammies. I mean, they are ranked, and it's just my humble opinions, just based on how I remember them and the amusing reaction that they got out of me and got out of the audience and whatnot as they came along here. Okay, and also, we're only looking at whammies from the classic Press Your Luck, not the Devils, as they were called in the Second Chance, or the whammies from the all-new Press Your Luck. But I'm going to give a special shout-out to one right here, one of the double whammies. And FYI, a double whammy is where the whammy would come out and do its taunt like usual, but then something will fall or hit the contestant innocently, like, balls or pizza dough or water or something. But this one is my favorite. This is the Enron double whammy, as it's become to be known.
Big bucks, big bucks. We need some big bucks, baby. And stop! Double whammy.
I better file these important financial documents.
Colin, that would cost you the trip to Martha's Vineyard, the cash, $79.69.
Financial documents. I don't know why, I just find that very funny. I mean, that's great. That's the only one of the double whammies I actually liked. But anyway, let's rock and roll. Okay, also, I apologize for the clips because some of them are better quality video and audio-wise than others, so just bear with me on that. And also, I apologize for the audio quality of this video here. I got air conditioner running in the background, and I'm trying to muffle the audio as best I can so that it's easy for you to hear it. And to that, I had a major incident with my back and had to go to the ER and everything. I'm okay, I'm recovering and whatnot, but it just hasn't made it very easy for me to make this. But anywho, enough about that nonsense there. What do you say? It's time to press your luck with top 10 press your luck whammies. Well, my favorite top 10 press your luck whammies. Number 10, the TNT whammy. This is one of the most common or popular ones featured on the show. He just has a batch of TNT and a detonator, and then he says, yeah, this ought to do it, and blows up the TNT, and he ends up blowing up the money, and he also blows himself up, harming himself too. Poor little guy. He should have known better than that, or learned something from watching a Warner Brothers cartoon or whatever there. Then again, considering the whole thing with Peter Tamarkin, where he goofed up with Who Said Suffer and Succotash. But that's a whole nother issue unto itself there, you know. But at least we got a cool bit there where Mel Blanc called him. But anyway, I'm getting off topic there. But yes, the TNT whammy. This one definitely was, shall I say, dynamite?
John.
Let's go, big bucks.
Let's see what happens.
Big bucks. Come on, that's one for mom. We're going for big bucks. Come on. Stop.
Stop that old whammy.
This ought to do it.
Oh, John, no bucks. John, no bucks.
Number 9, the Olympic Torch Runner whammy. This is one of the special ones that had a limited run to tie in with the 1984 Summer Olympic Games. And you have the runner with the Olympic torch there, and then some dude throws some water on the whammy there, eliminating, zonking out the torch there, with some of the worst animated hands I've ever seen. Seriously, take a look at the hands on the bucket there. Oh my god. But, you know, that's okay. And but at least the whammy did have the decency to ask if anybody had a match. You know, because, hey, it wasn't his fault that the thing, he was just running with it just fine, and then all of a sudden somebody else had to be an asshole and throw the water on him. Oh, well.
Stop it, old whammy.
Anybody got a match?
Oh, somebody put out his...
Number 8, the election whammy. Okay, now I would assume this one was a tie-in to the presidential election of 1984 as well. And I was under the mistaken impression that this one was running for mayor or something like that. I don't know where I got that idea from. But anyway, he just jumps up and down, and he's got a sash on, and, you know, saying that if he's elected, he will raise your taxes, and then gets a pie thrown to his face for good measure there. It's pretty hilarious, and it just tells how badly that, especially in America, how poorly politicians are looked at by general, regardless of whatever party you're part of there. But, you know, come to think of it, yeah, in the 80s, who was the vice president at the time? George Bush Sr.? And then he did have that whole infamous line about read my lips, no new taxes, and then he ended up raising taxes or whatever like that. Huh. So that's what George Bush Sr. was doing in his spare time. He was a whammy. I should have known. I should have known that. Oh well. Anyway, why don't we move on from this conspiracy theory onto something a little bit more lighthearted, shall we?
50. 3 spins left. Pressure luck. The pass. $600 less than
my
Bill.
luck, Peter. I need big bucks. I did it before. I can do it again. Stop.
Stop it, old.
If elected, I will raise your taxes.
Oh, Menard, the whammy's on your case.
Number 7, the breakdancing whammy. Now this one was a favorite of mine as a kid because my older sister knew some people that went to her school that did this. complete with the cardboard boxes and the giant radio, as I called it at the time, but I didn't know that at the time it was called the Ghetto Blaster. But yeah, so I knew what it was, and I thought it was really cool that Whammies could breakdance, and so the Whammy's just breakdancing there, and then he rolls off, and then the Ghetto Blaster just explodes for no reason, I guess maybe the moves are just a little too hot to handle, too cold to hold, too fly to move, too fresh to behold, too awesome, too funky fresh. I don't know. But either way, that's one thing I have to envy about the Whammy. He could break dance. I wish I could break dance. The best I do is when I dance, I break stuff.
Doris with 3. You want to make some bucks?
I want to make some big
Do
bucks.
it.
I want to see some big bucks.
Stop at Break dancing and broke you, Doris, although you had no dollars anyways. 3 spins. You ready?
Number 6, the Country Duet, featuring the female Whammy, Tammy Whamette. Obviously, it's a play on words with the name of the country icon, Tammy Wynette. So, I don't know if there were other female Whammies shown that, had the same last name of Whamette, but I do believe that any that were referenced were also named Tammy, Tammy and Whammy, makes sense because they rhyme. But in this one, here, she sings about having your money back again, and the male Whammy, sort of filling in for George Jones, sings with her, and yet another pie to the face. 2 of the Whammies so far involved pies to the face. Coincidence? Huh. Or not. You make the call. But I just think it's really cute,
Stop! Stop it, Whammy. Tammy Whammy. Wow, what a voice, folks. And she takes away your money as she sings. Nelson.
Number 5, the Disappearing Whammy. This one's an oldie but goodie, but this is a modified version of one of the first ones where the Whammy's jumping up and down. I actually, earlier, if you saw the video there was a recreation of the original Whammy there. He's jumping up and down, and then he has the hammer, and he goes out, and, but yeah, he just jumps up. But in this one, he just jumps up and down with a weird laugh and then just disappears for no reason. I mean, not that he needs a reason, but still out of nowhere, he just poof, and where the hell does he go, But like I said, it's an abridged version of the one that zonked me out earlier here, minus the bit with the yellow hammer there. But yeah, just a good old classic. Hey, I'm here, and I disappeared, and I took your money with you, or whatever, So there you go, the Disappearing Whammy.
Fly in the face of the Whammy. Stop! I think you heard me, and you got.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You can enjoy the world of beauty, excitement, and adventure. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art. And with this art test from Art Instruction Schools, you can find out if you have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. So to get your free art test without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number now. Call 1-800-241-5500. That's 1-800-241-5500.
Number 4, the Conductor Whammy or the Orchestra Whammy. Yeah, this is a bit of a less common one here, and believe it or not, I didn't even know this existed until I saw a video of it from a compilation of all the Whammies that have ever been created, and I looked through it to make the list because I wanted to look through all of them, and I thought I had seen them all, but when I saw this one, this immediately became a favorite of mine right away, and from what I found out, if memory serves correctly. This one is the longest whammy that was used in terms of duration, about 10 seconds long or so, and it was used in instances of time filler or also when the money amount that was lost when hitting the whammy space was actually a high or large amount of some sort there. So they would use this whammy during its brief history there. They used it in instances where they had a low amount of spins to go through the round. So as a way to pad the airtime, they used the longer whammies. Like this one. I believe the Tina Turner one was also a long one, if I remember correctly as well. Don't quote me on that, but if you know the answer to that definitively, put that in the comments section, and so we can let everybody know. But hey. Yeah, I mean, you got a whole army of whammies, or whatever the plural for, we know the plural for whammy is whammies, but you know how you say a flock of seagulls? I know that's not the correct term, but whatever it is, a pack of wolves or whatever, a herd of sheep or whatever it is, whatever that is, the word meaning a group of whammies, you have that. And they're just there playing musical instruments, getting down with them bad cells, Boston pop style, and they're playing I know I'm going to butcher that, Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture. I know I fucking butchered that. If anybody can please put the phonetic way of how to say his name there, and I do apologize for any classical music fans there. I don't mean to offend you or the work of this great man there. I'm sorry, I suck at English. Sue me. But anyway, the 1812 overtures they play in there, and then a cannon comes up, and then with a big blammo, blows them all up there. And I was like, damn, they were doing good. I wanted to hear more of the music, man. What the hell? Oh well, what you gonna do?
Let's go big bucks. Big ones. I want that 5,000 in the spin. 5,000 in the spin and stop.
I guess that's what happens when you hit a wrong note around here. Mark, 5 spins left, no.
Number 3, the jackhammer or construction whammy. This is a pretty popular and pretty common one there. He uses a jackhammer to just scroll across the screen with a heart tattoo on there showing how the whammies roll. Whether or not he's proclaiming his love for heart tattoos or his love for Tammy, I don't know. And he's going across the screen saying, yes, 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 ha ha ha, laughing and going along there. But, well, at least he's a safe whammy. He was wearing protection. His helmet, I mean. Get your mind out of the gutter there. Well, unless you want to go that way, I don't know. But either way, wait, what am I talking about there? Construction whammies.
Need more cash, more cash, more cash. Stop!
Stop. Oh, Patricia, cost you 7.
Number 2, the Michael Jackson whammy. I think this one is probably the most recognizable off the bat that imitates a specific musician, and they had done many over the years. I mentioned Tina Turner earlier, they did Cyndi Lauper, the Beatles, Elvis, Willie Nelson, Liberace, and even in their Whammy remake, I remember they did one on NSYNC, and I think there was a Britney Spears one too, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But, yeah, he's got the glove, the moves, spins around, and he's got the shades, and a beat very similar to Billie Jean, and just another, yeah, there you go. Just another way that the show moonwalked into our hearts there. Yeah. Wow. Pretty cool.
More spins.
No whammies, no whammies, stop!
Oh! All right, Menard.
Okay, now before we get to number 1, here are some favorites that are honorable mentions here. Okay, the dog chasing cat one, I believe. Well, there is one where he's just when the whammy's just walking the dog Fang like normal, and that's perfectly fine. But the one I'm referring to is the one where a cat is running. Fang is chasing the cat, and the poor Whammy is being flung along there, holding onto the leash. And the Whammy tells Fang to hold it and not forget the money. I don't know why. I just thought that one was pretty funny. Okay, we also got the Supremes Whammies. You know, all I need is cash. Give me all your money. Give me your money. This is catchy as hell. I'm not sure if it's male Whammies pulling a Bugs Bunny type of situation there, or if they had other female Whammies other than Tammy, or if they're all Tammys or whatnot there. I don't know. But they always get a good reaction when they come out and sing and take the contestants' money from them. But, yep, got a good reaction from myself included. Okay, you got the baseball one, and this is one of the ones that was used specifically for the fourth Whammy strike, the barbershop quartet, or the cruise ship one. You know, you got the Whammy as the umpire there, saying that the player is out after the sound of a ball being caught is heard, and the Whammy just says, "You're out." It's simple but effective, so there you go. And you also got the Boy George Whammy, or Culture Club Whammy, whatever you want to call it. But it's just him singing a variation of Do You Want to Hurt Me? And it's called Who Would Ever Hurt a Whammy? Who would ever hurt a whammy? And then a giant hammer knocks him in the head and turns him into a puddle of goop. Yeah, or I guess it's goop or whatever. But what, are whammies made of ice cream or something? I don't know. I mean, this one is a little brutal if you overthink it, but it's still one of the better singing ones. But it does pale in comparison still to this one here, number 1. Number 1, the Doo-Wop Whammies. And FYI, there is a band called the Whammies, no relation, of course, as the real physical Whammies are a jazz group. But these Whammies could open for them or join them maybe. But yeah, they just come out and they're singing, "Ooh, yeah, da 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 da, ooh, yeah." And then the audience always goes bananas every time that they come up there. And I never understood why. And for a while, at first, I thought they were supposed to be the Beatles, until I did see a Beatles Whammy parody later. And I'm like, okay, so they're not the Beatles or whatever. So who are they? I mean, are they meant to be a specific group, or is it just them, you know, doing the doo-wop thing on their own, you know, as an original creation? Or are they supposed to be inspired by somebody or something? I don't know. But the Four Tops or something like that, maybe? Hey, I could buy that. Or the Temptations? Hey, I'll roll with that. But if anybody has the answer to that specifically, just throw that in the comment section, just so everybody else know, because I want everybody to get the correct information here from me, from, you know, about this stuff or whatever, whether they get it from me or from somebody else there. I just want the information to be consistent and accurate as possible. But anywho,
Come on, Brenda's going for it.
Whammies, come on, Big Buck, stop!
Stop it out. Brenda, no fun, no dollars, only one.
There we go. My top 10 favorite Press Your Luck Whammies. The show is awesome. They give it every morning. I am on the Game Show Network, and they give it regularly if you have access to the Buzzer Network. I wish I had access to it from here, but I need a super duper big antenna if I'm going to reach that far. Unless my local cable company would add it to the roster. Looking at you, company there, who I used to work for. Looking at you. Why have you not added Buzzer to your roster? It doesn't seem like it'll be that hard anyway, because the channel that the local Buzzer comes from is a local state. It is a local station, and we do have its regular version available on our cable service. So what the hell? Beg your pardon. Yep, there we go. I'd like to thank you for watching, and take care of yourselves out there. So until we can have an epic rap battles of history with Donald Trump and Kanye West deciding who is less annoying between the two, this is David Porkchop, and I'm out. Bye.